and we're in the discussion group. Any questions, please pop them in the chat, and we want to have a bit of a conversation. While we're waiting that to come, let me ask you, Yuka-san, what have you seen in your organizations in Japan? Have you seen an evolution now with this next generation of you and your amazing sisters? Have you seen an evolution in a willingness to collaborate with other organizations, peace organizations, ecology organizations, social justice organizations, spiritual organizations? These were groups that used to do their own thing, but now we're all realizing that it's all connected. Have you seen a rising temperature in people's willingness to collaborate and lowering the barriers to really enter into meaningful partnerships and alliances?
Actually, for us at Fuji Sanctuary, it was us that had this transformation kind of. In the beginning, it was only for our members praying for peace, and we were devoted in protecting Fuji Sanctuary for the members of our community. But we realized, and this again comes from Nippon, a circle is beautiful, but a circle creates boundaries with inside and outside. And what we need is one twist to make it Mobius so that anyone can naturally come in and anyone can naturally move out, which creates a flow and movement. And when we were saying, okay, we're ready, we don't want to be a closed community, we want anyone to come and share, then Benson started to come. And Alexander and Rama-san started to come. And then there was this beautiful harmony and collaboration happening. So, of course, your question was more with the outside, but it started within, is our experience. And when we're ready, I think the like-minded people come and go, and it's such a beautiful energy. And that created it really started to create a new environment and culture for us.
Well, that is such a beautiful answer. And starting from within, that it started from within your own organizations. And when you're ready, that's the resonance, isn't it, that we're talking about? It's as soon as we step into that new vibration, everything changes and shifts. And we're learning more and more about that. And soon, in a few moments, we'll hear from Dr. Jude Caravan, who's got all the science on a lot of this stuff as well. Thank you, Yuka, for that. Question from Charles Betterton. Could Unity Earth create a resource for us to continue to share resources for partnerships, collaboration, strategic alliances, etc.? Yeah, I think, Charles, in collaboration with Jon Raner, I think Unity Earth, One World, absolutely we can hold that. We will and we shall and we will continue to do it. And it'd be great to get you in there as well. Question for Rama. This is a beautiful question, and also for Alexander. What is the language of coherence?
I guess truly Julie would be the absolute expert to answer that. But, you know, John and Summer joined Ben because we've been literally living 52 hours every 24 and couldn't find the moments to type. But I was just writing on the question that it's this family ship. So when it's the language of family, because we are connecting with or are received by people who speak so many languages, who are also going back to mother language, mother tongue, mother language day today, are struggling, like in Australia, the Aboriginal community. Are we cut off or is it?
No, you're good. You're good.
You're good. Okay. It looked like you were frozen. So it's really wherever we are, by holding the other as part of oneself and connecting with them as family with utter reverence and deep, deep, deep interest in their lives, in their everything, in the ecology of their lives. That's the language always. And then we don't need words. You know, I'm wearing this little bracelet that was tied on me by the elder of this tiny Kalasan village in the Philippines. And we couldn't speak to each other, but we were just so connected, and that's what it is. The same when we were at Fuji Sanctuary, we were in communion with all the hundreds and hundreds of people in that snow, together, but as one. So that's the language, I would say, of.
I want to add one thing, and Rama, through your bracelet of the Kalasan tribal village in Philippines that we just witnessed, gave a
As a home for
clue.
humanity.
Gave a clue, because what we also find that all the indigenous cultures speak a language of coherence. There is this profound coherence of relationship with nature, relationship with each other, and, interesting enough, including all beings on the planet. And I think wherever we go, we also touch base with this profound wisdom. And one thing we found, Summer Joy, you beautiful say, everyone's voice is needed, and we need to bring that in. And but we also felt there's a profound longing for belonging, also to bring different cultural stories to a common stage. Individual stories, but also cultural stories. And in their depths, there is a profound sense of cohesion, of what holds life truly together.
Well, let me throw that now to Julie Krull, who's still here with us. What is the language of coherence, Julie?
I love that question. I love this question. And when I read it, I immediately heard the phrase undivided love. The language of coherence is undivided love. And I haven't defined it like that before, because the language is essential. We're going to hear from Dr. Jude Curvan in her science. And one of my favorite quotes from her, I know she's with us here on, is that we don't have consciousness. We and the whole world are consciousness. And when we understand that consciousness is this undivided love that we're talking about, I think it's time for us to kind of up-level how we talk about unconditional love and come into this place of undivided love, what that truly means. It's a prior unity. It's the essence of all that is. It's the unitive narrative breathing life through us, right? So I love that question. I don't know who posted it, but beautiful. And I loved, Alexander, your response too, and Rama. It was beautiful. But I think that there's so much intelligence here when we're bringing the science and the spiritual wisdom traditions together and talking home, earth, like Yuka, bringing in this idea of feeding one another and becoming whole. That's undivided love. And that does create a state of coherence. It's like bringing us into our heart, doing personal coherence first, which creates a field of coherence, which creates relational coherence, which creates planetary coherence.
Yum, 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 yum. That question was from Sarah Sue McAllister Lovett, just to answer. There's one more question which I want to speak to for a few minutes before we transition. And it's a really important question for a lot of people who may be a little bit adjacent to this conversation or just coming into this conversation. John Wild asks, as a North American mainline Protestant, how do I separate what is good in my tradition and upbringing from what is so clearly empire, colonialism, patriarchy, domination system? What a great question, and thank you. And well, just in the interest of time, John, I just want to acknowledge that's such a deeply personal discernment. And one thing we might look at is what are the fruits of a particular teaching or a particular idea? Do they make us want to run towards the vulnerable and the other? Or do they make us feel a sense of superiority and aloofness and distance from each other? And maybe by that guide, by looking at the fruits of an idea, the outcome of embracing an idea, does it bring us into a deeper heart and a deeper resonance, even if that might be scary, even if that might be confronting, even if that might be difficult, but does it feel right? And your inner guidance, as opposed to, is it something that just doesn't sit right with you anymore? You are the ultimate guide for discerning that, and nobody else can tell you what to keep from your tradition and what to let go. But you, and you can seek mentors, you can seek colleagues, you can seek fellow travelers on the road. It's such an important conversation for millions and millions of people right now. How do we keep the value of our upbringing and our traditions? And how do we move beyond that which is limiting and holding us back? Thank you, Jon. We could do a whole program on that. But thank you. Thank you for our speakers.